At Amada Solutions, we help companies plan for anything, report on everything, and do the right thing. We've prepared a short presentation about how you can use business intelligence to orient everyone in your company around your strategy and goals. Anyone who's ever led a large organization knows that interdepartmental rivalries, lack of engagement among employees, and poor communication strategy can really hold a company back from achieving its goals. And the numbers are stacked against business leaders. A recent study from Gallup polls found that only 32% of employees feel engaged at work, 62% of employees don't know their company's mission statement, and 74% of employees feel they're missing out on key company information. So how can you solve this dilemma and get your whole team working towards a few defined goals? We're going to follow 5 process steps that allow leaders to utilize their business intelligence tools to leverage their team's skills and achieve their targets. Let's start with the first step, setting SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. Each department head should set a few key goals, then come together and decide which one will be the company main goal. The idea here isn't to just choose one goal at the expense of all other business functions. Assuming your performance stays the same or about the same it is now across business categories, choose 1 or 2 goals that the entire company can work towards that will be the most impactful on company growth. This is an example of a clear and specific SMART goal. Our main goal for 2018 is to grow our sales volume by 20% over the previous year. It's specific because anyone who reads this statement will know exactly how much the company expects their volume to increase. In order to measure this goal, you'll also need to know current sales figures from last year. Assuming you have BI tools available to you, this should be pretty simple to get. Is your goal achievable? A 20% jump can be a very large margin. Are there factors in the industry that indicate that this could be achieved? Are you planning on having a significant increase in staffing for your sales department? Have you come up with a singular solution where you can dominate the market in a new way? Your goal also needs to be relevant. Sales figures are a good choice because they're easy to quantify and relevant to the bottom line of the company. However, don't feel like you need to set a bottom line goal. Make sure the company main goal reflects the most impactful change your business can make to grow intelligently. This goal is also timely because of course it needs to be completed by the end of the year in order to show the year-over-year increase. Monthly or quarterly goals are also good choices. Now that you've established your main company goal, each department can establish its SMART goal that contributes to that main goal. For example, the recruiting team may set the goal to increase the number of recruits by 20% over the previous year to keep pace with the sales goal. An increase in the number of total recruits will increase the amount of volume recruited employees bring in, contributing to the main goal. Marketing is attacking this from a different angle. They're going to try to increase client business 20% over the previous year. Focusing on repeat business requires less budget than a new program, and it also contributes to the main goal by generating more revenue. Now that your company has a main goal and each team has a goal that contributes to it, you need a way to measure each area's progress and the company's progress to the main goal as a whole. Smaller companies might be okay using Excel, but larger companies will need an enterprise solution in order to effectively communicate this information across the entire organization. Amada Solutions is a Domo partner. The following suggestions we have work great with Domo, and we've implemented them successfully several times. However, businesses not using Domo can utilize some of these same techniques on other BI platforms. Of course, dashboards need to be easy to read. Non-technical as well as technical employees should have access to simple information. Reading production reports isn't difficult, but make sure you're comparing apples to apples if you're looking at percentages. Data security is important, and it shouldn't be sacrificed for the sake of transparency. Choose a BI tool that has the capability to protect sensitive information while still remaining transparent at all levels of the business. Let's look at an example dashboard for the recruiting team to achieve its goal of recruiting 20% more employees year over year. This is a basic table that shows our 2017 versus 2018 numbers. You can see we're looking at production numbers, aka the company main goal. The recruit numbers, we can see in 2017 there were 10 recruits, and our 2018 goal is to get 12, a 20% increase. We can see our recruit volume, which is an extra step this manager has taken to track the contribution to the main company goal. We can see a simple recruiter dashboard that ranks them based on their number of recruits. Another key feature of this dashboard is showing the pacing numbers year to date. The team goal is clearly stated, and they can also see that they're ahead of schedule towards achieving it at this point in the year. This manager added an extra metric that shows the increased recruit volume. We can see that recruited employees have already started to positively contribute to the company's overall bottom line, proving the value of the recruiting program. Finally, ranking team members is a great step for competitive groups like sales and recruiting. Communication strategy is one of the trickiest areas to getting employees oriented around your main goal. Email is a common method of communicating with employees, but many emails are ignored or deleted due to the overwhelming number that come in for employees each day. BI tools that include push notifications and mobile functionality can help you increase adoption of your dashboards. Further, the marketing team can mix methods for the best results. In-person, data-driven meetings are one of the best ways to make sure that managers and employees are on the same page with the company goal. In turn, don't miss opportunities like all-hands or company-wide meetings to share the team's progress towards the company goal and highlight your top-performing teams. SMS and push notifications should be used with caution, but they have the highest open rates of any other type of communication. Your marketing team should use these judiciously with internal communications, as overuse of these tools can irritate employees and feel invasive. Your intranet is another golden opportunity for engaging employees with the company goal. Make sure displays are attractive, easily legible, and contain a link back to your BI tool. Personalize the view wherever possible so that employees can see their own progress towards their team goal and even the company goal. Finally, when using email, make sure the communications are short and to the point. Include video as often as possible, as it's more engaging than just a simple newsletter format. Launching a new BI tool can be a huge undertaking. Before launching, make sure you've worked out the kinks with your main goal and how you plan to measure it. Connect all of your data sources and have managers weigh in on the metrics to ensure their accuracy before you launch. Set expectations you can stick to for using the dashboards and meetings for managers and on an ongoing basis for employees. Of course, you'll also need to provide basic information on how to use the system and what's contained in there, as well as privacy policies and other important legal information. After the launch, you'll want to keep your BI tool active by including it in the onboarding process for your new hires. Include statistics in your monthly, quarterly, or annual newsletters, as well as your meetings. Any communication you send out to your employees should reference the main goal and your progress to it. It can also reference team goals or individual goals if that's relevant to other newsletter content. Provide meeting guides for managers and track monthly one-on-ones to ensure that adoption is making it down to the front line. Set a strategy for addressing employee feedback. This can also be built into your BI system. Respond to both positive and negative feedback and don't hide from negative comments. Remember, many employees may resist their performance being measured, particularly if they feel like they don't have the resources to meet their goals. Leadership responding to these concerns can make a big difference in employee satisfaction and trust. Finally, recognize stellar performance at regular intervals. This can help keep your communications positive. Performance meetings are a key element of orienting your team to your main goal and their team goals. Managers are the biggest beneficiaries of dashboards, but some of them may be resistant to learning and using new techniques. Keeping employees focused and knowing their progress toward key goals takes a lot of the guesswork out of management. It's crucial for senior leadership to present a united front, emphasizing the importance of utilizing metrics and focusing on goals. Set the expectation that team leaders are expected to have regular meetings with their reports. Typically, this will be monthly, but it could also be quarterly if team leaders have a large number of reports. Additionally, teams should plan to have a short direction meeting each week, which is centered around the team goal and how each team member will contribute to that in the following week. Department managers can join this meeting whenever possible to show commitment to the team goals and assist in directing the team as needed, or clearing the way for helpful initiatives at the senior level. Team members should be discouraged to schedule other activities over top of the direction meeting. It's crucial to recenter the team on the goal at least weekly to prevent other priorities from taking over focus. We've provided a sample team leader one-on-one guide for team leaders to use during that monthly one-on-one meeting. Mainly, team leaders can use this to direct the meeting back to the goal and stay on topic. No more than a half hour should be required for a team one-on-one. In addition, none of the information should be a surprise to the employees, as they should have access to all the critical data needed that's powering the conversation for the performance meeting. Similarly, department leaders, if there's an additional layer in your organization, can hold similar meetings with team leaders. These meetings should be focused on team performance as a whole and breaking down any roadblocks to the team accomplishing their goal. Further, the department leader should encourage the team leader to update the goal as needed to best contribute to the company main goal. We've also provided a direction meeting guide. Team leaders can use this during their weekly meeting to stay on task. It's crucial that these meetings remain short, so that they don't seem like an overwhelming burden for teams to implement on a weekly basis. 10 minutes or less should be sufficient. The team leader should also be prepared with any additional assignments before the meeting so that they can distribute those assignments among team members with a light load that week. Finally, use your BI tool to track that these meetings are occurring. You should have a very simple and short form that managers can fill out quickly. We've hosted this as a Google form right inside Domo. It's super easy to fill out, only takes 10 to 15 seconds, and gives you the insights you need to understand if managers are implementing best practices. Finally, as an ongoing part of the process, you'll need to collect feedback. Collecting feedback can be very difficult. Senior leaders may not want to hear negative responses that employees say. Further, many employees are hesitant to give negative feedback that may be needed for fear of repercussions. Our advice is to treat your internal reviews with the same respect you treat external reviews. Many companies understand the importance of gathering reviews online through Facebook, Yelp, Zillow, or other platforms, but hardly any treat employee reviews with the same respect. Show your employees you care about their opinion by providing easy-to-submit forms that can be filled out anonymously. Again, your BI platform may have a tool already built in for this. Finally, be transparent with your employees wherever possible. You don't have to please everyone who submits a comment. Most of the time, those submitting negative feedback just want to know senior leadership hears their issue and is aware of the problem. It's okay to group responses as well. It's not necessary to respond to every individual. It's a good idea to list the questions and answers in your intranet so employees can refer to them later. Make sure to set up a regular interval to review and implement suggestions from feedback. Here's an example of an anonymous submission relating to a BI implementation. The sample response is clear and concise, but includes key information about why the changes have taken place and what leadership plans to do with the information they're collecting. If you're new to responding to employee feedback, have a few people read over your response to make sure it doesn't come off in a way you don't intend. Remember, written communication almost always seems harsher than spoken communication. If you can film a video response, go ahead and do that because tone and facial expressions are key indicators of the sentiment behind words. Here's another example response, which indicates the company is aware of the issue and is acting on it. In addition, the second paragraph highlights empathy between departments to indicate that this isn't one department not caring about another department's concern. Mentioning that marketing finds the submission process frustrating as well can build an understanding between teams. The CEO of the company may not always be the best to respond to every submission. For instance, it would have been okay for the marketing director to answer this one as well. Remember, it takes time to change the culture of an organization. Getting managers to implement data-driven meetings won't happen overnight, and implementing and responding to feedback is an ongoing process. Good tools and committed leaders can make this process easier and shorter, but even if you have all that, you still need time. Here's a list of recommended books that deal with orienting companies around a central goal. For any questions about BI tools, Domo, orienting your company to your main strategy, and more, contact us at amatasolutions.com.